Hey everyone, Megasonic ZX here. Today I'm starting what will hopefully become a new series on my channel, Unscripted Death Battle Reviews. I'm not the kind of guy who can sit down and write a whole script for a Death Battle review. Not gonna happen. So you know what? I'm just gonna ramble about episodes for however long they take me to ramble about. And I thought Power Rangers vs. Voltron would be a great starting pick, because I personally love this episode. This is one of my favorite episodes of the whole series. It was my number one for about 2 to 3 years, until Trunks vs. Silver came along, but that's a topic for another day. For now, let's just talk about this utterly phenomenal episode. An episode that opens, I think, really well. Just the simple introduction of, this is the giant robot fight of all giant robot fights, and laying out the rules of no Dragon Zord, no Galaxy Garrison, stuff like that. It's just the main mechs. I think I want more of that on Death Battle almost. Just sort of outlining, hey, these tertiary things aren't being included, or these things are being included. Let's just... It's something that the most recent episode, Gojo vs. Makima, did, where they outlined specific things they were taking into account. I like more of that. I want more of it. And going into the analysis segments, I think they're both really good. I love how the Power Rangers analysis starts with them showing footage from Zyuranger, because we have no real in-canon backstory for Zordon and Rita. I think that's really funny. It's a cute use of footage. And then it goes into, you know, the 5 main Rangers. We get Jason, Zack, Billy, Treaty, and Kimberly. What each of them specialize in and what their individual Zords specialize in, and how that all comes together to make the Megazord. How it is the sum of all of its parts. That's really good. I really like that. And then, of course, you know, they talk about the Megazord's weaponry, the sword, the Mastodon shield, lasers. It's really good at punching. Like, really, really good at punching. Like, I like the reference to the 2017 movie with backhand you into orbit. That's funny. It's just really good analysis. And Voltron's is good too, because that one similarly goes over the history of Voltron the mech, and then leads into the Voltron Force, how they discovered it, and what each of the individual paladins do. And if I used any wrong terminology for the original Voltron series, I'm sorry. I've only seen Legendary Defender, the Netflix series. So, I'm a shitty Voltron fan. I don't even know the version of Voltron they used in this episode. Fuck me, I guess. But I like it. It flows just as well as the Megazords. From the history, into the pilots, into the mech itself, and all of its weapons, its abilities, its weaknesses. And then, let's just go into the fight. A fucking phenomenal fight, honestly. I love the simplicity of the setup. The Lions are scanning for dino activity. The Rangers show up in 5 giant mechs, and it's like, okay, let's call in the Dinozords. The Paladins find that dino activity, and now it's time to fight. I like how they recreate the transformation sequences side by side. That's cool. That keeps you hyped. And you know what? The models all look great. The individual models for the Megazord and Voltron look great. The individual Lion models look good for the short time they're on screen. Same with the Zords. I even think the individual models for the Rangers look fine. The Paladins even look mostly fine. It's just the faces are really fugly, but with how little you see them, I don't think it matters. And the fighting, the actual fighting dynamic between them is great. I love that opening shot where the Megazord is towering over Voltron as it looks up. That's such a great setup, and preamble for the fight. It's so good. And then it goes in. The fight actually starts, and the Megazord is dominating in hand-to-hand, so what does Voltron do? It backs away and focuses on its ranged abilities, perfectly playing with how their fighting styles are established in the analyses. The Megazord prefers hand-to-hand combat, so it tries to overwhelm, the Rangers try to overwhelm Voltron with hand-to-hand abilities. So the Paladins get away and start zoning the Rangers out, like they're in a fighting game. So what does the Rangers do? They use the shield to reflect Voltron's attacks back at him, and then ground him by summoning the Power Sword. That's brilliant. That's a brilliant strategy. I love... And The Power Sword coming down from space isn't even an attack, but they use it as one in such a creative way. It's great. I love it. So then they call it the Paladin's the Blazing Sword. We get the... I love the clash, because the Rangers immediately go for their finisher. The pauses because they're dead even, and Kimberly's like, wait, shouldn't we have won here? And then we get the really good sword fight where Voltron starts overwhelming the Megazord with its speed, but the Rangers are able to keep up and win the sword fight because they're the better at close range combat. And then Pidge, unhinged bastard, just bull charges the Megazord and gets it into a corner, only for the Megazord to break out and get them pinned to the side of the cliff, and go for the kill. And it's great. Pidge's unhingedness gets Voltron backed into the corner. Lance the Goat makes the sacrifice to save Pidge, and Pidge, the unhinged bastard who got them into shit, is now getting them out with that big punch. They go get the sword, and Pat the Goat is the rawest immortal one-liner on all of Death Battle, to give him covering fire with it's so good. I can't do it justice just here. It's such a good line and delivery. Hey, the Rangers trying to hold out as long as they can as Pidge grabs the sword. And it's too much. And Voltron's big final slash that just obliterates the Megazord. It's great. It's great. I love it. And then, you have the conclusion. It's a good conclusion. They cover what Megazord's advantages were with its hand-to-hand skill. Voltron was stronger, it was faster, and especially it was tougher. And with how durability can often translate into AP, because if you can take a hit from something, you can usually dish out a relatively similar hit. It makes sense that the Voltron surviving a black hole comet is better than the Megazord downscaling from the Thunder Megazord getting one shot by Serpentera. And, would I have loved to see the Thunder Megazord in this fight? Yeah, the Thunder Megazord is my goat. That shit is underrated. But I get why they stuck to the Dino Megazord. It's more popular. And just more iconic. It's all around a phenomenal and fun episode, and I don't think there's any reason to not just give this episode an arbitrary 10 out of 10. Rankings are arbitrary inherently, but 10 out of 10, S tier. This is one of my favorite episodes in all of Death Battle, my second favorite, even. I love this episode so much because it's just fun. There's so much love and passion put into this episode. I love it so much. Also, this episode opens with one of those old Mog advertisements, because this is back when it was still Screw Attack, so, we haven't heard from Mog in years, so I'm pretty sure they ate that bitch.